A question I've been getting a lot lately has been about appointment slots in Google Calendar. How can we use that feature to schedule appointments with students, parents, even colleagues? So, let's get into it. In Google Calendar, there are two different ways to create a new item. We can either go to the top left corner of the screen and click Create, or we can simply click on the empty spot in our calendar. Now, there are four different options that you can choose whenever you are creating an item in Google Calendar. Most common option is probably going to be an event. If you have a meeting, a class, or just a time in your calendar that you want to block off for a specific purpose, an event is probably what you're going to choose. You can choose to block off a part of your schedule if you are going to be away from work for a period of time. A task might be something that you need to accomplish at a particular time. The last option that you have is to create appointment slots. So when I choose appointment slots, I have a couple of different options that pop up. First, let's talk about the time that we're setting aside. What you are doing is setting aside a part of your calendar where you are going to be available to fill appointments. That doesn't necessarily mean that all of those appointment slots will be claimed, but you are setting aside a portion of your day specifically for that purpose. The other option that we have with regard to time is the duration of those appointment slots. Consider how much time you want to invest in each one of those appointment slots. If you want to have meetings that last for 15 minutes, if you want to have meetings that last for an hour, you can customize that however you want. One idea to remember is that those appointment slots are going to be back to back without time in between. Just something to consider when you build your appointment schedule. Now, if we click on more options, we have a couple of other choices and information that we can add to our appointment slots. You can designate where the location of the meeting is going to take place. Maybe it's going to take place in your classroom, your school conference room, in a virtual location, say Google Meet or Zoom. You can also add information here, prompting your guests to designate where you should meet with them. A description can also be added, instructions for your guests, a request for information. You can add links, bullet points, and any of the other formatting features that are available. So in this example, I've set aside a block of time, I've designated a location, and offered some information to my guests. So let's see what the appointment page looks like for the host of those appointment slots. I can see my own schedule. I can also see these gray blocks. These gray buttons are the appointment slots that are available to the guests I've invited. If those appointment slots appear in gray, and that's an indication that that appointment slot has not yet been claimed. Once an appointment slot is claimed, an event will automatically be created in my calendar. That event will appear both in my calendar and in the calendar of my invited guest. Now, how do I invite them? Copy this link address and attach that to an email, post it on Google Classroom, or any place else where I would like to invite guests to claim an appointment. So from the student or participant perspective, you can see that there are a series of appointment slots available. What I can do is float my mouse over each of those slots to see the time for that appointment. When I click one of those slots to claim it, there is a location as well as a description. Now, at this point, I, as the user, can make any changes that I want to make. And those changes will now be reflected in the calendar event that is created by accepting this appointment. So once I click Save, that appointment has now been claimed. You can see that it is no longer available to be claimed by anyone else. And if I go to my own calendar, there I see my appointment slot in my own schedule ready to go. When appointment slots are claimed, as they were by that student, you can see here, I still have this block of time set aside in my calendar when I am available for appointments, but I can see here, I have someone who has claimed that appointment. So this event has been created in my calendar, and I can make any adjustments or changes to this specific event that I would like to, including adding Google Meet conferencing, changing my notifications, or anything else that I would do with a normal calendar event. Now, just a couple of hints to keep in mind. Every calendar has one appointment slot page, so when you direct your participants to that page, they will see any appointment slots that you have made available. Just something to keep in mind when you title your appointment slots. If you want to create multiple slots, what I would suggest would be to click on your appointment block and then choose the option with the three dots to duplicate that particular event. Duplicating that event will allow you to then make any necessary adjustments. If you want to change the date, or if you want to give yourself an opportunity to meet later in a particular day, you can make those adjustments to your duplicated event. That includes changing the title as you see fit. So by making those changes, you can then see how those appointment blocks are titled differently within your calendar, offering different opportunities for your invited guests. So I hope that's helpful. Whether you are scheduling conferences with students, meetings with colleagues, or conferences with parents, appointment slots can be a helpful way to simplify the process. As always, please let me know if you need any help at all.